So today I have something fun for you guys. I have a book haul, a bunch of new books that I got that you're going to see me review at some point. I have a lot of things that I have to read first, but these are things that I'm excited to pick up, so hopefully it inspires me to read even faster than I already do. With that said, let's get into it. The first book that I picked up was Ayn Rand. This is The Virtue of Selfishness. More than a few people have told me to pick up Ayn Rand, said that I would probably like it. I'm interested. From what I know about her beliefs, I'm going to like some of them a lot. I'm going to disagree with some of them a lot. And, you know, it's always cool when you can see someone that you disagree with, but you also agree with on certain points, and maybe it strengthens your own arguments, but it also weakens your other ones. And I think it's always nice to be introspective and open yourself up to new ideas. So shout out Hypnaudio for telling me to read Ayn Rand. I know other people have suggested as well, but that's the first one I remember. Burmese Days by George Orwell. I really love George Orwell. Like, I know it's kind of ironic. I feel like it's cringy to say we literally live in 1984 because the same people that voted for George Bush are now waking up to the reality of government overreach. But I think Orwell has an interesting style, and I know this is particularly influenced by his time in India, by his time as, I think he was like a police officer, a peacekeeper, I don't know the exact title, but I'm interested in to see what this is about, because reading the back, it's something to do with colonialism, it's something to do with being an occupier and the effect that has on the occupied country and the effect that it has on the occupier. And I think it's just an interesting topic to go through, and it's Orwell, so how could it not be an extremely interesting book? So the next one is Alan Watts' The Way of Zen. I've seen this book a million times at the bookstore, and I just felt like picking it up today, actually. And I don't know why, but I'm really excited for this book. Like, I've read probably 4 or 5 Alan Watts books at this point, and they all are very similar. I really love reading all of them, and I feel like I get a whole new angle to Eastern ideologies, Eastern thought, Eastern philosophy every time I pick up an Alan Watts book. But I'm pretty sure this is his most famous book. I think this is his best-selling one. I think this is the book that like kind of established him as a great orator, a great speaker. So, you know, interested. Always a fun time reading an Alan Watts book, and excited to pick another one up. The next one is a Sigmund Freud book. This is Civilization and Its Discontents. I just read The Interpretation of Dreams, and I did not like it. I don't know if it's because the topic was so esoteric. I don't know if the topic was so out there that Freud's very rational brain couldn't stimulate me the same way that Jungian dream analysis does. But I'm open to looking into his other ideas, because I think he has some very interesting concepts, and I think he has some very interesting insights. He doesn't usually get the grand finale. He doesn't usually get the grand understanding, like the Oedipus complex. He nails the Oedipus complex very well, but he doesn't understand it's due to archetypes, it's due to the anima, it's due to the father archetype, and the idea that you're not a man until you overcome your father, and this is where the Oedipus complex comes from. But again, Freud is the first person to bring up these ideas. He's the inspiration for people like Jung, for further thinkers, and I think just getting a better understanding of Freud is going to give me a better understanding of Jung, and I'm very much interested in more Freudian psychology, more early origins of Jungian psychology, and the more materialistic element of things. Because when you read Jung, you read a mystic. That's really what Jung comes off as to me. I think Jung is the closest thing to a Gnostic that you'll find in the past century, 2 centuries, whenever he was writing these books. And it'll be a nice change of pace, because most of the psychology I've read is very out there. The next thing that I picked up was Demons by Fyodor Dostoevsky. The reason I picked this up was because I literally was watching a video by Robert Greene today, and he was like, this is my favorite Dostoevsky book. And I don't know, I've been meaning to pick up a Dostoevsky book. I've had the Idiot for I think like 6 months now at this point, and I just haven't picked it up. So I'll probably just read this one first. I'll probably just pick this one up first, because I really didn't have a compelling reason to pick up The Idiot aside from it was Dostoevsky, but since I've heard from one of my favorite authors that this is his favorite book, I'm going to really urge myself to pick this up. I'm really going to force myself to start reading this very, very soon. The last thing that I picked up was Being and Time by Martin Heidegger. I think that's how you say it. And I don't know what this book's about. I think it's something to do with existentialist philosophy. And I've seen Heidegger's name brought up time and time again. I don't know exactly what he talks about, but I'm always interested to read different philosophers because I think the greatest way to expand your own perspective is to expand the authors that you read, expand the ideas that you study, look at things in a different manner, because when you can get beyond your own field of vision, then you can get a deeper sense of what actually is the truth of things. And the more things you expose yourself, the more things you read, I think the more well-rounded and balanced opinion you have. So with that said, that's the reason why I picked that up. Let me know if you want me to read any of these faster. I will try to get through all of these as soon as possible, but I just figured I'd update you guys on what I've been buying. Usually it's one book at a time, but I got a gift card, so it's like, you know what, I'm gonna pick up a few and stock up and have some for a rainy day. So with that said, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. Peace out. I'll catch you in the next one.